Hi everybody, this is Carolina Millan and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Hustle. And today we are here with Zach Nadler, who is the CEO of VaynerSpeakers. How are you, Zach?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. So we're here in New York City. You guys can see, maybe you can see the background. And we are at the Vayner Media offices. Zach took some time out of his busy schedule to talk to me, and I'm super grateful for that. So let's start. First of all, what is VaynerSpeakers? Why was it created? What is the vision for it? And what are you guys looking to achieve with this platform?
Sure. So VaynerSpeakers is a speakers bureau. We represent clients who are speakers for corporate events. Gary and I have worked together for almost 10 years now, and we just saw an opportunity where there's some opportunity to do things differently. Create a bureau that is a little more modern, innovative, taking advantage of some of the marketing techniques he's used and applying that to a kind of an older industry. And we've been around for a few months now, and things have been going really well.
Mm-hmm. Where do you guys think the speaking industry is going?
Well, I think like sports, I think it's something where live entertainment is never going away, and speaking fits in that profile. So I don't know that it's going anywhere totally different and new, but I think people are being smarter about who they're bringing in as speakers. People want value and impact for their audiences, whether it's clients, customers, or they're trying to have a draw. It's no longer just throwing money at something. It's trying to figure out someone who makes the most sense.
Absolutely. What do you foresee is going to be one of the next additions to the bureau?
It's really hard to say. We launched with 12 clients. We're focused on our clients, where we've been inundated with potential clients. There's obviously a lot of speakers out there. There's also a lot of speaker bureaus out there. We are trying to do our best to facilitate and fulfill the obligations we have to our clients. They're our priorities. So we're not necessarily looking to take on a ton of new clients right away, because we want to make sure that we are able to deliver for those that we work with. So it's hard to say that we have another speaker coming down the pipeline immediately, but it's certainly something we'll be growing at a pretty fast rate.
Mm-hmm. What are the qualities you're looking for in a speaker?
There's no real formula. It's something where we're looking at every opportunity and every speaker as a possible client. We want to find folks who have something unique to deliver. It's ideal if there's a background of success, if they built a brand, if they have a story or a message that's unique to them. But there's speakers from all walks of life that I think make sense. But obviously, as you can imagine, when we're getting receiving about 1,000 profiles and videos and all of these things, standing out from the crowd really is important. We're focused on diversity. We're focused on, finding clients who are unique for what they bring, and people who, there aren't replications of themselves out in the marketplace. And I think there's a lot of people who, are great speakers, but aren't necessarily so unique in the marketplace. And we're trying to find folks who, bridge that gap.
Mm-hmm. What would be one of those unique qualities? Can you think of an example of somebody you're working with now?
I would say it's all about what the message is and the way you tell the message.
Mm-hmm.
Storytelling is always the backbone of the speaking industry. And so I think it's important that anyone who wants to be a speaker or wants to stand out from the crowd is not only able to tell a message in a unique way, but have a unique message to tell. When people are spending, thousands of dollars on booking a speaker for a conference, they want to make sure that they're getting something out of it, not just, a good story to tell that they had someone on stage. Mm-hmm. And so there's not necessarily any one thing, but I think it's all about just finding something unique and different that separates you from all other speakers that are out there.
Absolutely. I was going through the website and recognized quite a few of the speakers that you guys have now. Are you also looking to add people who are maybe less known but have some potential?
Think there are a number of clients who are not necessarily as well known. I mean, we're basically looking for clients who are underexposed but deserve to be overexposed. Clients who just haven't had the exposure to the greater industry, but have every reason to be. People who, a lot of our clients who are maybe less known have had speaking careers for long periods of time. So it's about being able to broaden the horizon of who is familiar with them and make them more of a household name. So we're not only looking for people who've been doing this for 20, 30 years, we're looking for people who are great at what they do, and regardless of how long they've been doing it.
Mm-hmm. So what you said, you guys get like thousands of applications. What is the formal? Is there like a formal application?
There's no formal application system. I mean, contact at VaynerSpeakers.com. We are inundated with requests. From people who have been speaking for a long time to people who just want to get out there and speak. We're please be cognizant of our time, but at the same token, we're reviewing everything. We want to help out as many people as we can, but it's something where it's not always a speaker's agent that separates a great speaker from being just another speaker, right? So it's about being conscious of what you're sending us so that we can review all the materials, but we're taking a look at everything and seeing what we can do. But obviously it's impossible to represent 1,000 people well after we've been in business for 4 months.
I know, yeah, that's got to be challenging. If somebody wanted to draw your attention, what would you recommend? If somebody really wants to get among the
I can't give away all my secrets, but I mean, really, it's I can't tell anyone what they can do to be unique.
Okay.
They need to know what they are that's unique. And I think it's something where everyone has something that's special about them, but it's being able to find a way to relate that. There's some people who are just bombarding us with the same email over and over and, sending DMs to us and tagging every post. And, that doesn't necessarily get our attention in a positive way because it's not any new information, right? It's something where we need to know what separates you from the rest. And whatever is the differentiator is what's most important. And being able to convey that is meaningful.
So at least you gave us what not to do. Now you guys know. No spamming, no tagging, no sending the same email over and over again. Find something unique, like a different way to...
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be an effective storyteller on stage, you should be able to be effective in getting that information out in other ways.
Exactly. So tell us a little more about yourself. What have you been doing? You said you've been working with Gary for like 10 years.
Yeah.
What has that been like? What else have you been doing this whole time before?
So I was a speaker's agent at Creative Artist Agency, also here in New York, and been working with Gary since 2009. So it's been a lot of fun watching kind of Gary develop. When we first started working together, VaynerMedia was him and AJ.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, it's hundreds of people here and then offices around the world. So it's been a lot of fun watching that and seeing Gary evolve as well. It's been exciting to see him on stage change what he's talking about and the ways he talks about things. And, what I also love is that you can kind of look back and every day we're hearing, someone say, oh, I found this video from 2011, 2013, 2012. It's, people look back and find these old videos and not realizing how long it's been. And, a lot of the messages stayed the same. But it's evolved over time, and so it's been fun to watch that from my perspective as I've been trying to get him to more events, bigger stages, and grow that side of his business.
What about South America? Ever
we do have plans. So we'll be in Brazil in this fall. Can't go into too much more specifics there, but Gary will be down there this fall. And we've been trying to get him down there. We've come close a number of times. I mean, really, the two biggest factors for someone as busy as Gary is availability and the financial justification. He is extremely busy. He's working 7 a.m. to 11:30 every single day. So if we're going to fly him down to Brazil, which I think is a 9-hour flight from New York, plus the time on site, and then flying back, that's at least 24 to 48 hours away from work and away from his family. So if we're trying to do that with any events, regardless of the location, we have to justify that. And it's just been a matter of aligning on dates and budgets to make it make sense. But it's always been a priority of ours, and I'm excited that we'll have him down there this fall.
That's awesome. If somebody is organizing an event, and they want to tap into your speaker's portfolio, whether it's Gary or someone else, what is the process, and what do you guys offer them?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously our website is a great resource. There's a lot of information on our clients, but also information for how to contact us. We're talking to people every single day about events. What I would say that makes it easier for us is when we get specific information. We get a lot of people reach out and say, we'd love to have Gary at our event. Where and when is the event, right? What are the bare essentials that we know? And look, I also understand, I used to run events myself, so I know that you don't always have all the information.
Yeah.
So we're cognizant of that. But when you do, it's helpful to have all of that up front so that we know how we can best help. It's also one of those things in our industry where oftentimes we ask, what's the budget? And people start to get, shy, like, oh, they're trying to take every penny we have. Well, the reality is we can't really help if we don't know what we're working with.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily about, taking every single penny the event has, but really trying to find appropriate speakers who will work for them. The last thing I want to do is start pitching Gary Vaynerchuk to someone, have them get excited, and then find out that his fee is outside their budget. So we work to relate to these event planners and work as best we can. And obviously every event that reaches out is at a different stage of planning, so we're cognizant of that as well. But the more information we have, the better a resource we can be.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. How much time ahead of, let's say I have the budget, I have everything, how much time ahead do I need?
It's a great question. So I always say, 6 to 8 months is ideal.
6 to 8.
But 3 to 4 months is usually what happens, and certainly things can change as well. If you want to book Gary tomorrow and we can make it work, we will. Just like any of our other clients, everyone's busy. The way I look at it, it's, if you ask me to do an event on Saturday, I have plans on Saturday, and I'm not nearly as busy as most of my clients. So could I move things around? Certainly, but I'm not technically available. So that is usually what it comes down to is, just if you think about it yourself, your schedule is planned far out in advance. Mm-hmm. So the further out you can coordinate, the easier it is to make things happen. So we can work on any timeline, but the more time we have, the more flexibility there is with someone's calendar.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the plans for the company in the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, like everything Gary touches, it's moving much faster than I think we all anticipated, but that's a good thing. We just launched our website a few weeks ago, announced our initial client roster. We've already been out there booking even before that. So the plans are just to continue, putting our clients into great events, meeting with new potential clients, with new customers, and growing the business. I think the ideal scenario is that we scale at a rate that makes sense. We want to do things and create a culture here of being a helpful event planning group, right? Mm-hmm. We're not taking care of all the logistics on site at an event, but we're taking care of one aspect of the event, and we want to make sure that we don't lose our focus on that as we grow. But we will be growing and building our base up significantly, and plan to continue to do that over time.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the keyword there, focus. If you were trying to do everything, organize the events, bring the speakers, right. That probably wouldn't work out at first.
Well, that's also why, we have a limited roster right now. Could we have launched with 50 to 100 clients? Absolutely. But if we're announcing 50 clients, we're not really focusing on any of them. So we really want to make sure that we are paying attention to the clients we're working with and know and represent our clients in a positive way. Mm-hmm. We want to always be able to over-deliver for what we're promising, and that comes in both the clients but as well as customers. We want to make sure that they think, not only think, but know that they're getting the attention they deserve, and that we're focused on making sure their event's a success, because at the end of the day, we want them to be happy, we want our clients to be happy, and that only works when, an event goes smoothly.
Absolutely. Do you have, how many people do you have working with you right now?
We have a small team now, but we're growing already. So it's something where, we also work really closely with a lot of the other VaynerMedia companies and teams. So we've been, working within this organization in a really positive way, and we're growing at a rapid rate. So even I don't know when this will air, but I can tell you that probably by the time it airs, the team will be expanded from where it is now.
It probably will be. Are you getting enough sleep?
Enough sleep is a hard thing to answer. I'm getting some sleep. I think I certainly, friends of mine have been joking that I sleep trained myself like a baby before I started this job. Sleep is something that you can sacrifice in my position, and something I'm happy to do. Yeah. Because I think, there are better uses for time. So, it's hard to complain when someone like Gary is, getting his 5 to 6 hours of sleep at most. And that's on a good day when he's in New York versus when he's on the road. So I'm getting some sleep, but enough sleep, okay. I don't know if you can ever get enough sleep.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So you have been in the speaking industry for a while. What is your advice for people who are, excited about the idea of becoming a speaker? Maybe one day being one of your clients, but what would be your advice for people struggling to, start as a speaker?
Yeah, I think it's something where there's no one path to success. You want to approach this like any other career, any other business. You want to find what you're good at, how you can exceed and excel. And it's something where you just have to get out there. Like, one of the more frustrating things I see is when we get emails that say, hey, I want to be a speaker. Will you represent me? And it's like, well, you want to be a speaker, but you've never been on a stage. How are we supposed to know whether or not we can represent you? And there's nothing stopping anyone from getting on stage. If you want to be a speaker, look at Gary. When he started speaking, he was doing every event he could, whether there was pay or not. And now he's in a position where he's honed his skill and is able to be extremely successful because of that. But it doesn't happen overnight. You have to get good at what you're doing, just like anything else. If you want to be a great baseball player, you can't just show up and say, I think I'd be a great baseball player, like put me on the field, right? So it's a matter of honing your craft so that you deserve to be paid what you think you should be paid, right? It's a business that I like because you earn what you deserve, right? If you're not a great speaker, people aren't going to keep booking you. If you are good, you are going to be in such demand that you can raise your fee. And I think that that's what it comes down to. So anyone who wants to get into this space, they need to hone their craft. They need to focus. I mean, you hear a lot about stand-up comedians, right? And they, go to open mic nights. They try jokes.
Yeah.
They fail. They bomb. They hone their craft. They hone their material so they can get a 5-minute set, a 7-minute set, a 10-minute set until they're able to be a legit stand-up comedian. You don't hear stories about that from speakers, but it should be very much the same. There's no reason you can't go to a TEDx event and apply to be a speaker. There's no reason you can't reach out to your high school, your college, your employer and offer to speak rather than wait to be asked. And so you should, if you want to be a speaker, just be a speaker. And over time, it's something where representation comes when you're no longer able to handle the incoming requests, and there's a need for a third party to get involved. But nobody needs an agent to be a speaker. And I would say there's probably more clients or more speakers out there that don't have agents than do.
That's true. That's actually a really good piece of advice right there. Just go and be a speaker.
It's like anything else.
Have you spoken on stage?
I have. I haven't done a ton of public speaking. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not. It's not my passion.
You're more the behind the scenes.
I have no problem being behind the scenes, letting Gary take the stage.
It's not for everyone.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's about, there's not a lot of speaking engagements about speaking, which is, what my expertise would fall in. But
you guys can create an event about speakers.
Exactly, and maybe that'll be in our future. I mean, I think it's something where, I'm not opposed to it, and I think some people are very fearful of it. My last company, they would always put me up on front speak for the department, which I didn't mind. But, you, just like anything else, not everyone wants to do it, but it has to be justified. Like, I'm not going to get on stage just because I want to. For me, it's better use of time for me to represent my clients and work on making their speaking career successful. I'm not here for myself, I'm here for them.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I love it. Zach, thank you so much for your time today.
Of course.
That was awesome, really valuable. So you guys know now, if you want to be a speaker, go be a speaker. And again, if anyone wants to contact you guys, what is it?
It's VaynerSpeakers.com. And if you're a potential speaker, contact at VaynerSpeakers.com.
Contact at VaynerSpeakers.com. You'll be getting my email.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.